The most striking thing about this loft apartment is its incredible network of original timbers that trace the meeting point of two historic roof lines. Built over what used to be a house and its adjoining barn, these beams create a complex structural forest that have been worked around and between to create a livable layout. These timbers run at different heights and angles, creating an intricate architectural puzzle that is difficult to work with. So when the owner got in touch, it was because the space wasn't quite meeting her needs, but the complexity of the structure had become so confusing that she really needed a fresh pair of eyes and perspective. To further complicate things, the roof pitches are so shallow that while the floor area totals about 120 square meters, the actual usable area with minimum head height is only 76 square meters. So conceptualizing a floor plan that was actually workable required constant reference to head heights and structure to ensure it could work. The apartment is split across 2 levels. You enter on a small portion of the floor below, which contains some storage and a utility space, before going up a grand curved staircase to arrive in a generously sized hall. Here you're met with the suspended structural junction of the 2 roofs that creates a dramatic but challenging feature to work around. The current layout presents several issues that need addressing. There are 3 small bedrooms which the client suspects could work better as 2 larger ones, especially given how the roof pitch cuts into the usable space in each room. A dedicated study is also needed, and the bathroom arrangement needs rationalising to enable this. Storage is a particular challenge throughout, and there simply isn't enough of it and no obvious place to add it. The client has books, clothes and everyday items that need proper homes, but the current layout offers few integrated storage solutions. And then overall, the style has become somewhat muddled and lost under these dominant structural timbers that, while beautiful, overwhelm the space. The apartment has other excellent features to work with also though. There's beautiful tiling throughout that helps unify the spaces, and patio doors at the end of the main living space that open out onto treetops, creating a natural focal point where the client spends most of her time. The hall space, while generous, could be working harder for her by being reduced or activated in some way. And the kitchen, though functional, is hefty, dated, and in a bit of an awkward layout. Its current configuration with a peninsula breaks up the natural flow of movement through the space. So our instinct when looking at this space was that we needed to create a conceptual response to this dominant muddle of timbers. The beams, while beautiful, create a visual chaos that needs to be balanced with something bold but simple. We felt that a strong visual concept could calm the whole space down and pull all of the functional elements together into one elegant move. The curve of the staircase is a really striking feature which is offset against these timbers, and that provided our starting point for proposing a sort of flowing consistency of joinery and walls. The way this curve already moves through the space suggested a solution that could thread through the entire apartment. We wanted to pull all of these partitions, doors, cupboards, and so on together into one single element, following one single datum line underneath all of the levels of these timbers. That way, this single flowing element wouldn't clash with the timbers, but would still keep the timbers exposed enough for the cat to keep playing on them. An important consideration, as these beams have become something of a feline playground. And it would give us leeway to shape the space with more freedom and help us move away from the current layout, which has an awkward manner of fitting things in and around these beams. We felt that using colour had the potential to balance out the dark timbers and kind of respond to them in kind. Rather than trying to fight against their dominance, we could acknowledge it with an equally strong gesture. So we first looked at applying this to the staircase and setting the narrative from the entrance hall up to the landing above. The impact that you're then met with is not a muddle of doors and walls and beams, but rather a single sweep of colour running like a ribbon under and around the timbers. The continuity of this element helps guide you through the space naturally, and that would draw you towards the openness of the living space, which then has the lovely views out to the treetops. And what that does is conceals all of the bedrooms and other rooms behind this single sweeping plane, creating a cleaner, more coherent spatial experience. In terms of rearranging the accommodation, there isn't a lot of change that's needed or possible. The structural constraints of the roof and beams means we still need to work largely within the existing framework. Going from 3 rooms to 2 on this side of the apartment is worth doing because the rooms are getting so small and are only made smaller by the pitch of the roof and the timbers underneath it. The current bedroom sizes are really compromised by these architectural elements. There's also no really good justification for having 3 bathroom spaces, taking up valuable floor area that could be better utilised. So we've aimed to rationalise this by creating a small guest WC and shower room that is accessed via the cohesive wall, and the curve is just picked up in the wall of the shower behind. That then runs around to conceal the bedroom door within it, as well as some hidden storage between the 2 bedrooms, which can run all the way through and form some fitted wardrobes in the principal bedroom. This integration of storage within the flowing wall element helps solve several problems at once. In the principal bedroom, we've created an ensuite with a bath and shower that takes in the existing roof light, but it also has a glazed wall that can be opened up to look out into the bedroom, as this was something that the client had highlighted as a feature she liked. The natural light from the roof light combined with this glazed element helps the bathroom feel more spacious and connected to the bedroom space. We've also created a small dressing table and a potential for further low-level storage at that middle dormer window to avoid this bedroom becoming excessively large. The existing bathroom has been turned into a study, but could be turned back into a small 3rd bedroom at a future date. This kind of flexibility was important to the client. The other bedroom could incorporate another ensuite. It would need to maintain access beyond it into this narrow corner eave space, which has the water tank, but you could do this using a hidden door behind this shower. Into the living space, we've created a bit of flow around the top of the stairs and into that open space by curving off the end of that wall of the kitchen, where you could put your keys and things when you come upstairs. And then one of the main things that we wanted to make a point of not doing in the living space was to add storage to the eaves. That's often the approach that's taken in a loft space because it's the obvious place to add storage. But we felt that in this particular space, the impact of it is in seeing this full roof pitch go all the way down to the floor. And it makes it feel that much more spacious and characterful. The drama of this space is worth preserving, and it's just not needed if we can integrate storage into other areas of the apartment, which we've managed to do throughout the scheme. So we've opened up the kitchen rather than closing it off with the peninsula because it creates better flow towards the dining area and allows for more natural movement through the space. This makes the whole living area feel more generous and connected. In total, the aim has been to flow in and around the existing structure, making very few structural changes, but taking advantage of a strong visual concept to balance out the dominant features of the space. This building was actually one of the most complicated spaces I've worked with, and while I've aimed to make the end result look simple and natural, the 3-dimensional problem solving in the design process was a real challenge. It's taken consistent daily practice to get to a point where I feel I can tackle a challenge like this, and knowing where I started, it shows me just how important learning a little every day is for both personal and professional growth. That's exactly the principle behind Brilliant and why I wanted to share their sponsored message with you, because they are all about breaking big topics down into bite-sized, efficient and interactive lessons, where you learn by doing rather than memorizing. Brilliant make complex but essential real-world subjects like science, programming and AI accessible to anyone using their short, highly visual and engaging lessons designed by professionals at MIT, Microsoft and Google. Spending just a few minutes a day doing these lessons on your phone means you not only learn the fundamentals of these huge topics, but you actively grow your problem-solving abilities while firing up your brain. It's the exact opposite of mindless scrolling. I have it on my phone, and at the moment I'm into Brilliant science courses where I'm tackling the mind-bending physics of black holes head on, because why wouldn't you? And then of course AI is increasingly relevant to all of us, so I'm learning its fundamentals at my own pace. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/Gemma or scan the QR code on screen, or you can click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Do please keep sending me your video ideas. If you're planning a project and would like my help with your designs, I offer very affordable consultations. Or of course I can work with you to reimagine your existing building from scratch in a full concept design like this one. See you next time.